Well, hello there friends, this is Brian, the 3 Topics Gamer, here to present the 5th matchup video for this current season of my Versus series. And as I'm sure you can tell from the title that you clicked on, this time we will be venturing into the Resident Evil franchise, pitting 2 popular characters that never officially met. Now, to try to do something interesting, given my personal thoughts on the Remake timeline, I thought it would be a fun idea to have a clash of timelines to spice things up a bit. So I'll be taking Remake Leon from Resident Evil 4 Remake, and he will be going head-to-head against OG Albert Wesker from Resident Evil 5. And I would also like to make this very clear. Despite having somewhat similar backgrounds, Remake Leon is a completely different character than OG Leon, and therefore I will not be using anything that is connected to OG Leon for this breakdown video, and I will only be referring to this Leon as Remake Leon. So if you happen to enjoy this little breakdown video of mine, I would really appreciate if you give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't done already, make sure you smash the subscribe button, keep track of me and all my videos in remaining matchups I have planned for the rest of the year. So wasting any more time, let's start by going over Mr. Kennedy. Remake Leon was born in 1977, and as far as his early years growing up, there's really nothing of any importance that is known. In 1998, at the age of 21, Remake Leon was on his way to Raccoon City to begin his first day as becoming a member of the Raccoon City Police Department, where he would encounter and save Claire Redfield, who was also on her way to Raccoon City to find her older brother. Upon entering the city, the two would discover that the entire city had been taken over by zombies. Though Leon and Claire would be separated at first, the two would eventually escape Raccoon City before it was destroyed in a nuclear explosion. After surviving Raccoon City, the United States military was impressed with Leon's skills and would recruit him to a top-secret Special Operations Task Force. Leon would go through years of extensive training and put under the direct command of Major Jack Krauser, who personally developed Leon's skills in close-quarters combat, knife combat, and battle tactics. In 2002, Leon and Krauser would serve Operation Javier, which was meant for the two to take down multiple drug cartels. In 2004, Leon would be taken on the job and work directly under the United States President, and after the President's daughter, Ashley Graham, had been kidnapped on her way home, she would be spotted in an isolated community in Spain, and Leon would be assigned to rescue her. Upon entering the village area, Leon would be attacked by the local villagers, and it would be made very clear that something was wrong, and that they were under somebody's control. After a period of time, Leon would be successful in not only rescuing Ashley, but killing the leader, Lord Sadler. Upon defeating Sadler, the island that they were on would be set to explode, and Leon and Ashley would escape the island riding on a jet ski. By 2004, Remake Leon was a 27-year-old human male with an average build. His years of training did develop his physical traits in speed, strength, and his acrobatic abilities, making him a skilled combatant. However, he has proven that he can take an above average amount of damage, but anything too critical could certainly take him out immediately. Now, because I'll never play the Resident Evil 4 Remake, and therefore there is no definitive list on what weapons Remake Leon would be carrying by the end of the game, I think it's only fair that we give him the bare minimum of what I believe Remake Leon would be carrying. So for this fight, he'll be bringing 3 guns and a close-range weapon. He'll be equipped with his SG-09 handgun, a WA-70 shotgun, along with an SG-09 bolt-action rifle. For his close-range weapon, he will be relying on his standard survival knife. Albert Wesker was born in 1960 to a pair of parents who had superior intellect genes. As a child, he was collected alongside other children for the Umbrella Corporation, and it was here that he would receive the surname Wesker. As he got older, he would meet the creator of Umbrella, Oswald Spencer, and Spencer saw in Wesker the perfect prodigy and decided to take Wesker under his wing. In 1996, Wesker joined the newly founded STARS division of the Raccoon City Police Department, where he would work as a double agent for Umbrella, giving them information on any police investigations. During that same year, Wesker took part in the infamous Mansion incident alongside fellow STARS members Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, Barry Burton, and Rebecca Chambers. While at the mansion, Wesker injected himself with an experimental virus that was created by William Birkin and allowed the Tyrant creation to kill him, which would cause the virus within his body to reanimate him, bring him back to life, giving him enhanced abilities. Over the next 13 years, Wesker would travel around the world collecting the remaining resources of Umbrella while gathering multiple different virus strands and experimenting samples on his quest to create the perfect virus strain, which would allow him to purge the world, bringing a rise to a new race of superhumans. In 2009, Wesker succeeded in creating the ideal virus strand to purge the world, which he dubbed Ouroboros. However, it was during this time that Wesker would encounter his old STARS members Chris Redfield and his new BSAA partner Sheva Alomar. Chris and Sheva succeeded in stopping Wesker's initial plans to drop Ouroboros into the atmosphere, thereby forcing Wesker to fuse with the Ouroboros virus in a last attempt to kill them both. Despite this, thanks to their teamwork and a pair of rocket launchers, Chris and Sheva defeated Wesker, putting his reign of terror to an end once and for all. By the time of his death, Wesker was a 50-year-old human male standing 6'3", and despite his age, Wesker is in insanely good shape and perhaps entering the tail end of his physical prime. As a result of his viral infections, Wesker was granted a number of superhuman physical enhancements which range from hyper-accelerating speed, reflexes, enhanced flexibility, intense durability, increased strength, and a limited healing factor. The virus also hardened Wesker's skeleton, internal organs, tissue, and skin to the point that attempting to punch him or engage him in hand-to-hand combat will most likely result in fracturing limbs on the part of the attacker. Despite his virus giving him a series of enhanced physical advantages, by the end of his life it also turned out to be one of his greatest weaknesses. Over the years, the virus became very unstable to the point which led to him having to utilize a special serum to keep the virus at bay at specific intervals, and it had to be taken daily. The downside of his serum, however, is that if he takes too much or uses his enhanced abilities too often, it actually could cause his body to break down, killing him in the process. When it comes to the weapons for Wesker, there's not really much to say. By the time of his death, Wesker carried a pair of L-Hawk Magnums, which in their default settings could cause some serious damage to anything it hit, but each gun could only carry about 5 rounds per magazine. Now that we've broken down these two legends of the Resident Evil franchise, it's time to determine who I know would walk away the winner, and that winner is going to be Remake Leon. Now, there's a number of reasons why this guy could pull off the upset of the century, and the first reason is gotcha, didn't I? Oh, no, I can't do it. No, it's that has gotta be one of the most ridiculous things I've ever said ever. I can't do it. There's no chance that this depressing, zombie-looking downgrade version of my favorite Resident Evil character has any chance against Wesker. This man is dead in more ways than one. Now, to be fair, I don't really believe even OG Leon in his prime, fully loaded with weapons, will be able to pull off this. Because even going further, I don't even believe any human Resident Evil protagonist would have the ability to take down Wesker alone. Wesker is just way too dangerous on his own, and there's only a very limited number of antagonist characters that I believe could actually get a win over this version of Wesker one-on-one. The problem with Remake Leon is that his skill set just doesn't really prepare him for someone like Wesker. He certainly has plenty of experience against powerful single enemies, and he knows how to manage crowds of enemies while being aware of his surroundings. His training certainly makes him a skilled combatant, but he is more used to opponents trying to overwhelm him with force, and because of that, his training would allow him to deal with a large variety of threats that he might face for the first time. But against Wesker, you really do not want to go into a fight against him completely blind. On top of that, Wesker on his own is already a better trained and experienced combatant by Resident Evil 5, and he has proven this, that he can take down more skilled combatants than Leon at this point, in the form of people like Chris and Jill at the same time, who are both easily more skilled, more experienced than Remake Leon was at the time. A realistic engagement between Remake Leon and OG Wesker would be a very quick affair. Because Wesker has no personal connection with Leon, he would have no reason to delay killing Leon like he would if he would fought Chris and Jill, which he would prefer to play with his opponents at first to show his superiority. The best Leon could do is to try to stay as evasive as possible, but all this would do is delay the inevitable, because once Wesker gets up close to Leon, it's over. Now Leon might try to respond with his knife, but Wesker would just immediately disarm Leon and kill him with his own weapon. So for all these reasons, OG Albert Wesker from Resident Evil 5 is undoubtedly the winner. I gotta be honest, I do feel a little bit bad about this matchup, as anyone who knows anything about Wesker could easily state that no version of Leon S. Kennedy could actually take down Wesker one-on-one. And I actually did find a number of YouTube shorts that have actually gone over this very matchup, but I felt like doing this just for the fun of it. But heck, I hope you found some enjoyment of this video by the end. As for the next matchup video, I will be revisiting my favorite video game franchise of all time in the form of Metal Gear Solid, and the lovely Sniper Wolf from Metal Gear Solid 1 will be making her return, but instead of taking on an old man, she will be taking on the mysterious Quiet from Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain. I think this should be an interesting battle of snipers to break down, and I hope you will find it interesting too. So thank you guys all for watching, and I will catch you all next time.